We have an awesome show for you guys today.
The greatest eventer of all time.
Good news for the sport.
Welcome to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We are in the Jump for Joy studio. John, it's a great show that we're going to have. Thanks everybody for listening and watching. We have a good show going on here.
It's awesome. We got Karl Slezak just named to the Canadian team.
Right.
And we have the German riding instructor, Ronnie Reimer. He is great, and such a cool story he has about like growing up in Germany, what he did there, the adventures he went on.
I'm going to tell you the truth. I've known Ronnie.
Right.
I've had conversations. He looked at one of our ponies, never knew this story. So y'all have got to stay tuned because
he's pretty cool.
It will blow you away. And not only will he, but Karl also with Hot Bobo making the team, along with the other Canadian members who are...
Oh man, put me on the spot. We got Jesse Phoenix.
On GS Freedom.
Yeah, I think that's right. Sorry, yep. Jesse. And then Mike Winter, who is a longtime friend of the show on El Mundo, which is so cool because I think I've told the story before, but I remember years ago I went over to look at horses, and they had this one little brown horse who was tied up in a stall because they couldn't let him lay down.
Right.
Because he had fractured his stifle.
Right.
And it was actually Emma's horse, and I thought to myself,
poor thing.
That's such a shame. Like the horse is never going to be able to be what he could be.
And look where he is.
And that was El Mundo. And he's going to the Olympics. He was at the Pan Ams last year, and Mike and Emma have done such a good job producing that horse. And
it's a cool horse. And Mike deserves it. Mike's worked really hard.
Yeah.
And he's been put
and not just in his riding, but in helping the Canadian team.
Yeah. Also, Colleen is traveling over with FE Goldeneye.
Yeah.
She's going to be a great reserve for them to have. So that's Peter's horse that she comes from Canada with.
Yep, Peter Barry.
Yep. So cool.
So that's the Canadian team.
That's it. Let's go with the U.S. team. Or you want to go with the German team?
No, they'll go USA.
USA is Caroline Pamuchku on HSH Blake.
Yep.
We have the next one is Boyd on, I know this one.
Is it not Commander?
No. That's the second horse.
Why are we so terrible at our job?
No, we're not terrible. We're pulling them up. It's Annie Goodman's horse.
Fetterman B.
Fetterman B. And then we have the third part of that team membership, and that is Will Coleman on Off the Record.
Thank you. We just had him on.
I know. Yeah. You can't forget Will.
I didn't forget
The reserve is Liz Halliday on one of the Cooley horses, the Cooley horse. Somebody during the last show that I watched said it was Mix Master C was the reserve, but that's not the reserve. It was a Cooley Quicksilver.
No, that was Nutcracker.
Oh, Nutcracker, you're right.
Yeah.
There's so many Coolies.
Yeah. Like I said, we're really good at our job.
We are good at our job, John.
I know we are. That's what I said.
Yeah.
I literally just said we're really good at our job.
There's an Arrow helmet sitting right next to you.
That's right. Promotion. So the U.S. team that's a great team.
Yeah, it's super.
And then we got the British team, which they haven't actually named who's who, but we got Ross Cantor, Laura Collette, Yasmin Ingham, and Tom McEwen. Honestly, that's the favorite team. They should win the gold.
I mean, you would think.
They should.
But things happen.
But we're going to win it.
I'm predicting we win the gold, Canada's the silver, and Great Britain's the bronze.
Fourth. What?
Bronze.
Fourth? Did you say Great Britain's fourth?
Bronze.
That's what I said, fourth. So then the German team was named, and that is Sandra Offarth, Michael Young on Chipmunk, and Christoph Waller. And Julia Krajewski is the traveling reserve, which is kind of surprising.
You know, and the people out there don't realize that she had Chipmunk in one Aachen 8 years ago, and that Chipmunk is now with Michael. We were joking around going, don't win Aachen because somebody might get your horse. She won Aachen.
Well, and it's interesting with Chipmunk there because I seem to remember him having a couple bobbles here and there at big events in recent time.
He had a pin at Tokyo.
Yeah.
He's had rails lately.
Yeah.
I think she would have better.
Didn't he stop at a drop down into the water? There was a log on top of a mound last year. Where was that?
He fell.
He fell. Where was that?
Somewhere.
Yeah, it was a big event.
He did fall.
Yeah.
But I think she would have been the better pick, but we're not the selectors. So we
Yeah,
can't-
I mean, and it's hard to vote against Michael. He's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's true.
He's a
I mean,
tournament
he's a
nature.
competitor.
Okay, then we got the French team, which I'm going to probably massacre your names, guys. Sorry. We got Karim, Florent,
Oh, that was already massacred.
Lahu,
Yeah.
Karim, I don't know, Stephanie Landois, and Nicolas Touzant. That one I know. I know how to say that name. And the traveling reserve will be Greg Lecaz. So we got that. Do we care? We want to go through a couple other teams here that I have?
I think we should name, actually,
got
can we back up a little bit? I do a shout out to the reserve riders for Canada, and that was Lindsay and Dana Cook.
Right.
So just so they know, that's a team that's all
Right.
put together. Go ahead.
Well, no, actually, I think what we should do is maybe talk about Aachen.
Let's
We
talk
don't
about
need to
Aachen.
go through all these
We
teams.
don't.
People know
I
these
mean,
teams. Those are the key people.
Everybody
we wanna
reads it out there, right?
know. So Aachen.
Aachen. So, I mean, we didn't start out, the team didn't start off real strong in the dressage, but let me tell you.
Well, but we've talked about this, right? So, like, everybody gets so focused on the dressage, and is that really that important when you're
I
talking
think it
about
happens every single
true
time,
big
right?
events?
It happens every single time.
Yeah.
Then what was really strong for the U.S. was the show jump rounds.
Yes.
We had, I think we're the only team that had 4 out of 4 show jump double clears. I think that is pretty accurate.
Right.
That took us way from 7th all the way up to, I think, 4th.
Right.
And maybe even further in, but might have been up to bronze. We're up in contention, right?
Right.
And let me tell you the person, I'm proud of everybody. Alyssa Phillips did a great job on Oscar. Liz Halliday-Sharp did a great job on the young Cooley horse.
Yep.
Then we had, my gosh, the guy from the West Coast that's converted to a U.S. rider, James Alston.
Yep.
On that really cool mare.
Yeah,
I mean,
Karma.
if she gets that dressage done,
Oh.
he's unbeatable.
Yeah.
They were super. And Hallie Kuhn, if you're listening,
Well, I just thought it was great talking about Hallie, how we had it, like we had the silver medal basically locked up at that point. And so she was able to go out
Right.
and go.
right.
And
So when I
she
saw her going, I was like, okay, they've given her instructions.
Yeah.
Because there was a small chance we could have squeaked into the gold.
Yes.
Right? If she laid it on. The other riders hadn't gone yet.
Yep.
You rode your pants off.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never, that cute girl horse that she was riding,
That's
who
such a
was
nice mare.
7-year-old Lee Leon, young horse champion, that came from Kevin McNabb.
Yep.
Wow. And it was too bad because she got to the end. I think the mare was getting a little bit off her game.
A little tired,
A little
probably.
tired. And so she wasn't quite firing on all pistons, and it was too bad. It was like one fence from home.
Well, but I just think given the situation she was in.
She should have done everything she did.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you can forgive a mistake when you're trying.
Right. Definitely. You can forgive that because she
was
rode,
trying.
There was some of the stuff that she was doing. I was like, that was brilliant.
Yeah.
She just rode that with, and they were saying that was the most economical ride through there. I mean, she was going for it. When you're going at speed, you're going and trying to do stuff that she did a great job.
Absolutely.
I'm proud of her.
All of them. That was
All
great.
of them. I'm proud of all of y'all, but
Go USA.
go USA. Silver medal at Aachen. We've never won the gold team there. We've won the individual, obvious, with Will Coleman.
Yep.
I think we're going to keep continuing on under Leslie Law and with Bobby Costello to really put teams together. I think it's great. So good job, Leslie. He was in charge of that team, right?
Well, they were both there. Bobby was there. Bobby was in charge of it. Leslie went over sort of as
Helped
the
out.
assistant and helped with the cross country. So it was a total team effort. And that's the cool thing to see is how well those guys work together.
And Alyssa's been on this show, and just last year and a half, had broke and shattered her ankle, and here she is. Look at what she's doing.
Yep. It's cool to see. So why don't we take a break?
We can take a break.
And we're going to be back with Karl Slezak, the gentleman from Canada who's heading over to France here soon.
On the hot boba.
Yeah, so we'll be right back in the Jump for Joy studio. Want to advertise on the John and Rick Show? Contact John at 352-875-8622.
Or call Rick at 850-879-2649.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
Aero helmets represent real change for equestrian helmets, offering patented new technology and an unparalleled level of safety testing. It is the only Snell-certified helmet with MIPS on the market. Aero visors are interchangeable, meaning you can wear your Aero 3 ways, with a formal visor, a sun visor, and as a skull cap. Our shimmable liner means you can customize the fit for your head and your hairstyle. Upgrade to Aero today.
Hey, it's John here. I just want to let you guys know I got back from schooling at Magnolia Sands Farm here in Ocala, Florida. Their cross-country field is perfectly suited for a first outing on a young horse or schooling your upper-level horse. Magnolia Sands offers over 110 jumps ranging from starter to intermediate, plus multiple banks, ditches, and waters. They're constantly updating their courses and have even added new ditches and a starter ditch wall. Conveniently located in Northeast Ocala, Magnolia Sands has made it easy for riders and trainers with online waivers, Venmo, and PayPal, and even offer a golf cart for guests. MagnoliaSandsFarm.com.
EquiBrew, now available in the USA. It's a live probiotic that you feed daily to your horses. The live microbes go into your horse's gut and cleans up the gut wall, creating a healthy gut system.
EquiBrew is an essential part of my feeding program. My horses love to eat it, and it does a really good job of promoting gut health and also good behavior and great performances.
It's something I recommend for all of your horses, no matter what they do in their careers.
It's so affordable, I can use it on all of my horses in the barn, not just my top horses.
Order EquiBrew today by going to brickfieldnutrition.com or calling 850-879-2649.
Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We're here in the Jump for Joy studio. We are with Karl Slezak, who has just been named to the Olympic team for Canada.
Very excited.
Awesome. Good job, man.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, congratulations.
And we are in our EquiBrew segment.
Yep.
So EquiBrew is an awesome live probiotic. It is something I feed to all of my horses. It just...
Yeah.
What's your name? Rick. Rick, why don't you tell us about EquiBrew?
Yeah, actually, we've had EquiBrew in now distributing for about a couple of years. Dana Cook is a true believer in it, and thank you, Dana, for really, she buys 3 cases at a time. All her horses are on it. All of my horses, all of your horses, we're gonna have to get you on it.
And your horses too.
And your horses. Briggs takes it at home, but that's his thing. Yeah, it's super great live probiotic. Microbes go into the gut system, creates good microbes that fight off the bad microbes, and it just creates a healthy gut. And it's good stuff. So we're going to get a new website, equibrewusa.com.
Awesome.
But we're also at www.brickfieldnutrition.com as well.
And do we have a promo code this?
Promo code is JR513.
Perfect. Awesome. Cool. So, Karl, you're named. You're going.
Thank God.
You got it. So,
it's been a stressful winter.
Let's start with that.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, it's a lot. You just said it's a lot of stress. So
Yeah,
walk us through it. I know
mean,
you've had some up and downs.
We had some ups and downs. I think we all had a few ups and downs this year. But we all fought for it. And I mean, I think the program is just the program is on the up and up. The high performance program in Canada is on the up and up, and everybody just wants to do so much better. We all just are trying our hardest, and then sometimes you slip up when you run a little faster, try a little harder, and you just make a few mistakes. So I think we're all going in the right direction. It's just I think a few of us had a couple blips.
I mean, you talked to us about Hot Bobo when you brought her over as a sale horse. Here she is. She took you to the World Championships. And here she, or is that right?
No, Pan Am's.
Pan Am's, sorry. She took you to the Pan Am's.
He's just getting a little.
I
Hopefully they're going to the Worlds too. Yeah.
So Pan Am's, and now she's going to the Olympics.
Yeah.
I mean, in your wildest dreams, with that horse coming over, I mean, she's pretty cool.
I have loved that horse from the very beginning. Like even when I fell off and broke my wrist on her, I was like,
I still love you.
Yeah, I still love this horse. I still thought the world of her. I was like, I just need to be better about taking her back and doing it slower and really building her confidence. And sure enough, it worked. So
that's great.
Very excited.
So tell us the team members that's going with.
So yeah, Michael Winter, Jessica Phoenix, and myself, and then Colleen Loach on FE Goldeneye is the traveling reserve.
Great.
So I have a question about that. So how does it work for Canada now? Because I know in the past they didn't send the reserve horses. Is Colleen making the trip? Do you know?
She is. I mean, so the new system is that
send one.
I mean, you don't have to send one, but it's a 3-person team, but you can sub somebody in.
Right.
So
I just remember in the past it was like Canada said we're not paying to send a reserve
we've
horse.
never had that. We've never had that option.
We haven't had this format before.
This format, right? So the last Olympics we didn't have a team qualified. We only had 2 individuals.
Okay.
So this is the first time that we have a full team qualified in this format.
Awesome. That's great because I was a little bit worried that they weren't. So that's good.
They were really trying hard to get the 5th one there as well.
Right.
Just to at least come to training camp, and then they could possibly do something afterwards if they didn't get subbed in. But
And was that Dana? Who was the other?
so Lindsay was the next
Lindsay,
in line, and then Dana Cook was the final.
So
final reserve.
training camp is where's the training camp?
Lanier in France.
Okay. So you head over.
We're leaving on the 14th. I'm flying out of Miami to Amsterdam and then straight to Lanier, and then the Colleen and Jesse will fly out of JFK, and Mike is basically driving. I mean, the horse is driving. He's flying in.
Right.
But
So let's go through the horses with everybody. Obviously, you're on Hot Bobo.
Yep.
Jessica's on Waddet.
Nope, she is on Freedom GS.
Okay. And then we have Mike on his.
El Mundo.
Yep. And then Colleen on Goldeneye.
Yeah, correct.
Great.
Yeah.
It's an awesome team.
Yeah, no, I mean, super excited. I mean, we've, I think we're all sitting in a good spot. And
So I know a lot of people listening probably or watching might not understand Canada's challenges over the last, 20 years, right? So there's been a lot of ups and downs with the Canadian team, trying to get support, trying to get things put together. And when I heard that Bruce Mandeville and the people that are your support team, I was like, y'all are going to go somewhere, because these are really dedicated people. Tell us about the people behind the scenes that are putting this all together for you.
Emily Gilbert and Rebecca Howard have been a real driving force behind getting the high performance up and going. Certainly Mike was also, as our rider rep, he was really strong in that. And Shandis Wawar was also very strong in getting it all up and going. But definitely Emily and Rebecca are running with it, and they're trying so hard. They're trying to just cover all the bases, make sure we have everything that we could possibly need to just be the best we can. Getting good clinicians in, some funding to do some Nations Cups. So it's like
exciting.
It's going in the right direction. So we're all excited, and we all want to be better, and we all want to step up to the plate to compete with the best of the best. And
well, it's a good time to be in the place that you are.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you were transitioning up.
Yeah.
John, what do you think about this whole new Canadian support team and what's going on? I think it's working.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's been success. I'm just actually sitting here having flashbacks when we had Karl on before the Pan Ams, and you predicted that they could win, if I recall. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, come on. USA is going to win it. They're not going to do that. And,
Yep, I did.
You did.
So what I want to know, Rick, is are there any big predictions coming in? And put you on the spot.
I think they have the opportunity to be in silver or bronze position, is my guess.
All right. I like it.
yeah, I mean, I do think we've got a good team, and on our best day, we would be competitive for sure.
I think you will be. I think it all comes down to, it depends on what we see in the four long format for the course. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people are taken back, said Rio was going to be easy, you're going to send down there, people are going to, just fly through it. And it ripped the U.S. apart.
Yeah.
We didn't, and it ripped a lot of countries apart. So I'm interested to see what the course designer at
Pierre is again the course. He was the same course designer at the Pan Ams.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see.
And that was a tough track.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, no, he definitely
caused
produced
some
a good-
problems.
Absolutely.
So have they? Do you? And I feel like I know this, but I can't remember it. Have they told you what like lengthwise you should be expecting there?
Yeah, I believe it's a just over 9-minute course. I
Okay,
think, yeah.
and they're calling it a 4 long.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the info you've gotten as far as the actual course to expect?
I mean, some of the interesting things are like they've got similar to Tryon, but maybe not. So there's going to be like bridges across bodies of water, but they're going to be on pontoons.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting. I mean, I can't even picture that. I mean, they're not. They have to be fixed in some way, but
I mean, we were over there, and I missed the tour.
Oh.
But it was explained to me like it is literally big pontoons. It's got earth across it, and like the horses will not know.
Oh, good.
Like there's not going to be any reverb
from
the ground.
Yeah.
So apparently it's not going to be a big deal, but I'm not sure how wide the path
Yeah, I don't
is.
think they're very wide, but
So don't go left or right.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
I mean, that was when I was planning my season. I had heard that was going to be. I was like, well, definitely, I want to get a run in at Tryon at least, and
with the
have
bridges.
exactly.
I think Tryon's bridges, from everything I've been told, would be way more extreme than what you're going to see
Yes,
there.
I agree, 100%. I think
Because
that
those are scary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am terrified every time I go across those.
I ran across those full speed on Profit one time, and he eyed up the rail, and I was like,
No.
I've ridden a couple across there. I'm like, he's not so smart. He might jump
right,
off the
exactly.
edge.
Exactly. He's a little sharp.
So tell us what's Hot Bobo's bar name?
Bobo.
Bobo. So
Yeah.
how does she travel?
She travels great. She's just usually easy. She did get very attached to Colleen's horse last year, which is not like her at all. So I guess she has a good taste. She has good taste, yeah.
Right.
But yeah. So other than that, I mean, she's not really marish at all. She travels well, and yeah.
So with people listening, and some people don't really understand or know how, everybody goes, how do you get a horse over there? Do you put him on a boat or a ship? And I was like, no. Walk everybody through. She goes down to Miami, like you said. Tell them what happens.
So we'll get down to Miami. They'll be in quarantine stalls for a few hours anyhow. And then they will get loaded into, they'll go down a chute and get loaded onto a big crate. It looks like the inside.
It's open crate.
Yeah, it looks very much like the inside of a horse trailer.
Right.
There's not much difference there. And then that gets put onto that is on a flatbed truck, and that has a lot of wheelie things on it, so that you can easily push the whole crate around.
Right.
And then when they get to they take that out onto the tarmac to the plane, and then they have those same wheelie platforms that come out of the plane, and they just literally push it onto the plane.
So it's very cool.
For sure.
And you're flying with her.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I'm traveling with her.
Okay.
Same plane.
So real quick, and John can take over some questions. But so when you went to the Pan Ams, did Colleen's horse travel with you in the airplane? Or did y'all meet up?
We all did fly out of Miami. I can't
So that's where
remember.
Bobo-
I don't think she was in the same pallet as Goldie.
But close by.
But yeah, close enough. Yeah, for sure.
You might want to think about that.
Yeah. No. So
All right, so my question is, can you hang out for a minute so we can check in with our sponsors,
absolutely.
and then we're going to get you right back here.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Let's do that. We're going to be right back with Karl.
Remember Equibrew.
Go Equibrew.
Equibrew, now available in the USA. It's a live probiotic that you feed daily to your horses. The live microbes go into your horse's gut and cleans up the gut wall, creating a healthy gut system.
Equibrew is an essential part of my feeding program. My horses love to eat it, and it does a really good job of promoting gut health and also good behavior and great performances.
It's something I recommend for all of your horses, no matter what they do in their careers.
It's so affordable, I can use it on all of my horses in the barn, not just my top horses.
Order Equibrew today by going to brickfieldnutrition.com or calling 850-879-2649.
Grant Showalter has over 15 years of equine bodywork and saddle fitting experience. His technique allows him to identify and alleviate tightness in muscles. He uses trigger point massage to release points of restriction. Grant has over a decade of experience fitting and adjusting a wide variety of saddles. His expertise in equine physiology, coupled with a thorough understanding of the importance of a properly fitted saddle, allows him to quickly identify and correct any balance issues. Grant can also adjust your saddle on site. Grant works on all of my competition horses, and I have noticed a significant improvement in their performance at competitions and their overall way of going. Grant's based in Ocala, Florida year-round, but regularly travels to the surrounding areas. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 484-639-4454.
Hi, my name's Leslie Law, and we are a proud supporter of Jump for Joy. We've been using their portable cross-country jumps now for about 10 to 15 years. We love these jumps because, as you can see, they're very easy to move. It would only take another person on the other side, and I could place this fence wherever I wanted to very easily.
Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We are here in the Jump for Joy studio. Karl, thanks for joining us again to talk about, I know John's got a lot of questions about your game plan, what you're going to do over at Paris, and if you know how to speak French. But we also want to thank Horse Trailer Pros for a great title sponsor, and if you need your horse trailer, anything to it,
we use it.
get over there. Good, that's good to hear. Go, John.
Yeah, so I guess my question is, so you said you leave Sunday, which is the 14th.
14th, yep.
So you fly over on the 14th. You're flying with Bobo. When did Caitlin come over? She's on
the 23rd.
Okay,
She's
so
coming on the 23rd.
let you get over there and
Yep.
get sort of settled in. So so before that even, what's the first day that you're going to ship from the camp to the venue? Do you
I
know?
believe we're going on the 24th.
And then the first day of the inspection
I think we're on the 23rd, and the 25th is the first inspection.
So you hit it pretty quick.
So dressage is on the, no, my bad. The 26th is the inspection. That's opening ceremonies. Dressage is on the 27th.
Okay. So what's camp look like for you guys? Have they told you, is it going to be just Rebecca there and she's going to be the one? Are they bringing somebody else in? What's the...
No, at the moment it's just Rebecca. And she's done a great job with us in the past. And so we've got her full attention. And I think we've got a gallop day for sure, jump day, a few flat schools. In total, I think we're only there 6 days of riding because of travel and hacking and that sort of stuff, day off after traveling.
Right. And then, so you've got Rebecca there as coach.
Yeah.
And I guess manager. Do you have a barn manager? Because obviously everybody has their own groom. Is there somebody who's going to oversee the whole operation and get everything gear?
Basically, the manager will be Emily Gilbert.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Then tell us when you're in your preps, what's your best dressage score in Bobo?
20.
In the 4.
It's still to come. In about 2 weeks.
So we want to see what it is to date.
27.
Okay. Yeah. And what is your goal?
I would love to.
Where do you think you can clean
if I could get that score again, I'd be happy. Obviously, I'd love another point or two off, but if I could get to 27, I'd be happy.
So obviously, we all talk about our dressage scores and what we look at. And when you look at her, I'm sure you've studied her dressage tests, right?
Yeah.
Her weaknesses and her strengths. Where do you lose points? Where do you gain points?
I mean, she's just a little bit long in her back, so then she just looks a little bit downhill sometimes. So then she's getting her lateral work is just getting so more fluent. Changes have been a little bit of a struggle. She's good at her. She's getting way better at her changes.
Right.
But so we might get 50% of the changes in the past. I'm confident that we're going to get them 100% this time. Mm-hmm. So most of my comments are balance related.
Sure.
Yeah.
Due to
engagement.
the long back.
Yeah.
A lot of people have that problem. Then you have to try to simulate what looks like uphill.
Yeah, you don't want to fake it, but it is. Yeah.
But then you throw them off balance of what they're supposed to do. So it's a tough call, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure you're going to look great.
Yeah. Thank you.
And then you move on. So this is the last year, John, right? At Paris before we go to California for the 2028, where they do
change the format, right?
The different format.
Yeah.
So you're might be the last Olympian equestrian that gets to go in this format, even though it's three man woman team.
Yeah.
It might not be going in that category. How do you feel about that?
I mean, has it been solidified as that, or is it still up in the air? Is it? Yeah.
Yep.
That is what it is.
It is what it is. Well, we'll see. We'll adapt. I mean, we've done it all along, and yeah.
So just backtracking a little bit, I was just going to tell you a little advice. I was told by a dressage person, just get a really big saddle pad if they have a long back.
Yeah.
Apparently, that helps.
Perfect.
So just saying, if anybody's out there want to send Karl a big saddle pad.
Ogilvy saddle pads.
Perfect.
Yeah, they'll send me some good saddle pads. A little longer.
Just tell
I think
Ogilvy.
that would look like she's at like a picnic table.
Yeah, I've never really thought it worked terribly well, but apparently if you're in like dressage world, that's what you do.
Excellent. We'll give it a shot.
Yeah, but that long back makes her a great galloper.
Yes.
And a
Yeah,
great
absolutely.
jumper.
Yeah. She's very good galloper. Very nippy.
So you go out on cross country. Obviously, she's got a pretty amazing record, but in your sort of preparation for that event, is there some stuff, some exercises, like some people have one, they're like, oh, it's a little funny about right-hand corners, a little funny about left-hand run-out stuff.
There's
Is there
a
any of
hole.
that stuff
For sure.
that you're going to, not a hole, but like stuff like, okay, I got to have her trained for
shadow.
this.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's been a theme this year. I mean, there's been quite a few bounces into water, so
Yep.
I'm assuming there's going to be a bounce into water. Angled shoulder brushes out of something, out of a coffin, off a bank, something like that. There's going to be pretty hard. I'm assuming there's going to be a pretty hard angle on a shoulder brush. And then my two problems this year have been at a open rail left-handed corner. So I'll definitely be focusing on that before we get on that plane.
And do you think, and it's funny because horses do have left and right.
Yeah.
I mean, I could pick out any horse of mine, there might be a left-hand corner or a right-hand corner. Have you ever tried to, like Briggs tries to do, get in a horse's head, which that's like is impossible to do, but try to figure out what she might be thinking on your left-handed corners?
To be honest, I mean, I hate to. I mean, it was consistent with the left-handed corner. So I don't really believe it's a left-handed corner
It's
problem.
just the way that
I think it just
or
happened.
the ride.
It just happened to be the both
The
times. I
same.
mean, corners are cut tough in general, but anyhow, I'm not going to leave any stone unturned. I'm gonna practice them. We've had a few. We had one at Bromont. She was phenomenal there, and we had one at Chattahoochee. I mean, it was just the intermediate, but. There was an open rail left-handed corner, so definitely have gotten some practice since, and we'll keep going with it.
With that one over there, had some trouble with ditch and wall.
Yeah.
I came home the other day, he was digging a ditch.
Yeah, sure.
That's just what you do.
You do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I think you're going to get it done. I already predicted you're going to be, individually, I think you're going to be pretty high as well, but I think the team's going to be on the podium.
Yeah, we've got a really solid team. They're both. I mean, I'm looking forward to gathering with them in Lanier and training with them.
Putting
It's
your
going to
heads
be
together.
it's going to be
Mike's
great.
a great one. Put your
Absolutely. And Jess is a great teammate. She's always been
Definitely.
been a great
She's a
teammate.
competitor.
She's a competitor through and through. Yeah.
And fun to be around. Like,
Yeah,
she's a
absolutely.
nice person. That's the cool thing about Jessie is like, that she is, in a good way. Like she's a killer. She's going to go out there and she's going to get it.
Yeah.
Right.
But she's super pleasant.
She's always very positive.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. Just thinking a little bit about your prep for the cross country, one thing we should mention is you live right next door and have a partnership with a pretty awesome cross country schooling facility, which is a sponsor of our podcast.
Nancy Purvis.
Nancy Purvis's place. Tell us a little bit about that and sort of your role there.
So yeah, we help a lot more with the moving of the fences, the placement, setting up the different questions. She does a great job of maintaining it, all the mowing, all the property management of it. But we just move the jumps around for her.
And so do you know what's Magnolia Sands, right?
Yeah, correct.
And so she's got a website. So if people are down here in Ocala and they want a cross country school there, they go onto her website, which is, do you remember what it is, Rick? Magnolia Sands.
Just Google Magnolia.
Yeah, I should know this. I'm sorry, Nancy. I'm sorry.
I should know this.
But
we
anyway,
all suck here.
She's gone into making appointments, which is necessary.
No, for sure.
But it's super easy and it's great
it's
to do
very
it that
easy.
way because you show up, you know it's your facility, you sign everything ahead of time, pay on Venmo. It's like done, easy.
She made it the least complicated it could possibly be, and that way there's no large groups. Like you don't have to fight with a large group. You know who's going to be there. Yeah, exactly.
And one of the things I like about that facility is it has a proper coffin.
Yeah.
Which is getting more common, but pretty rare in Ocala.
Yeah.
A proper coffin, like the angle that you do on yours, going down those.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's a
steep
proper
mound
coffin. We've got one here now. Nancy's got one. There might be one or two others in town that you can go school, but really that one there is pretty exceptional.
Yeah, that's the other thing that seems to be a part of the theme. I mean, they're getting a little steeper into the coffin.
Yep.
Looks like Chat was just putting in a new one.
Well, good to know.
Yeah, a little steeper coffin.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Karl, we really appreciate you coming.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm excited for you.
I'm so excited to watch. I mean, it's going to be great.
I'm saving the gold spot for the USA, by the way. I'm sorry, I have to.
We'll see.
I let you have the gold spot for Canada.
Yeah, thank you.
I just
Pan
kind of felt
Ams,
like
yeah,
that
Pan
for
Ams,
the
yeah.
Pan Ams.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think it should be 1-2 USA, Canada. Either way,
That'd
I'd
be
fine
amazing.
with it.
That'd be
great.
amazing. Yeah.
Be a pretty fun autumn season
Yeah.
with that happening. So thanks for coming on, man. Really appreciate it. We are going to take a break, and we're going to be back with the German riding instructor, Ronnie Reimer. You guys are going to love him. He is one of the funniest people.
Pretty funny.
I know. So hang tight. It's going to be a blast.
Hans Schultz.
Jump for Joy fences are easy to move, lightweight, durable, and low maintenance. So we're out here on the cross country. We just finished over in the show jumping over the Jump for Joy fences. Had a great time schooling over them. They're really nice and easy to move, so we were able to adjust some things and really have the exact school that we needed thanks to the Jump for Joy fences. I love them.
Order yours at jumpforjoyusa.com.
Aero helmets represent real change for equestrian helmets, offering patented new technology and an unparalleled level of safety testing. It is the only Snell-certified helmet with MIPS on the market. Aero visors are interchangeable, meaning you can wear your Aero 3 ways, with a formal visor, a sun visor, and as a skull cap. Our shimmable liner means you can customize the fit for your head and your hairstyle. Upgrade to Aero today.
Since 1950, Maison Forestier has been offering its know-how to design custom-made saddles for passionate riders. In 2016, Maison Forestier took a turn and expanded into the sports world with the goal of improving the performance of the rider-horse pair. You will find a professional, reactive, and fun team to answer your needs. And this is why I have chosen Forestier for all of my saddlery needs. Feel free to contact the saddle expert in your area for more information by visiting www.forestier.com. Hey, it's John here. I just want to let you guys know I got back from schooling at Magnolia Sands Farm here in Ocala, Florida. Their cross-country field is perfectly suited for a first outing on a young horse or schooling your upper-level horse. Magnolia Sands offers over 110 jumps ranging from starter to intermediate, plus multiple banks, ditches, and waters. They're constantly updating their courses and have even added new ditches and a starter ditch wall. Conveniently located in Northeast Ocala, Magnolia Sands has made it easy for riders and trainers with online waivers, Venmo, and PayPal, and even offer a golf cart for guests. MagnoliaSandsFarm.com. Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros, and we are in the Jump for Joy studio as always. Really excited to be joined by Ronnie Reimer. Ronnie, thanks for coming in.
Are you really?
No, I am. I'm super pumped.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Everybody is.
I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, so I wanted to have you in because I've obviously been over to the local champion tour shows that you help organize and run, and then I discovered on Instagram the German riding instructor, and it is hilarious. And pretty much that's the only reason I wanted you in, because I thought you were really funny.
Oh, got it. Had nothing to do with anything else.
No, that was it. I just thought you were super entertaining.
It was just that.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I didn't even know you had it. And the other day I was just scrolling around and I saw you. I was like, he's funny as hell. And then it's like, and I love that you called.
And it's counterintuitive because, like, you would never expect it from a German.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Right?
That's what makes it funny.
But you've always been a bit funny.
I think that's the reason why I'm not in Germany anymore. Because, like, you know, like you get to that adult age, and then the Germans, they have their checklist and everything, and they're like, on time, check, grumpy, little bit of a check, not funny, too funny, and then they were like,
get out.
so you gotta go out.
Take it on over.
So that's why that was my next question.
Home, buddy.
So when did you start your Instagram account?
Boah, that was, it actually was like, okay, so when we started in the United States, so the first program that we did, Chanel and me, when we started RCR Equestrian was like, in the fall we traveled over to Europe, scouted horses, 2, 3, 4 we brought over, we made them up, showed them throughout the winter and sold them. And then in the summer it was like downtime and traveling again and that kind of stuff. So that was when we were still working out of our own facility. And there was one summer where I think we had one horse left, and that was boredom. And it actually started with just like a little bit of like bullshitting between friends when we were like talking about like how in Germany we don't know anything about the hunter world, right? Like it's so far from us.
I think anybody in Europe.
Anybody other than us.
But they do. They're catching up. I mean,
catching up
like
and
the
learning.
Belgian, the
they should.
Dutch, like all of them start to bring in US
Because
hunter
they know they go for a
judges,
lot of money.
and they start having hunter shows over there. But like during the time I grew up, like there was nothing there, right? So like in the little German community, we always made fun about like that, like leaning on the horse and like that crest release where you're like Supermaning right over the neck, right? So, and then there was like, you know what, there should be like a German instructor that comes over to America and is just like taking that whole hunter riding apart, because it's like so counterintuitive to like the old German where you're like sitting in the saddle back here, hands on, leg on, and always driving with your seat, like that real old school riding.
Right.
And then it just started with like a stupid advertising actually, like
Right. No, it's huge
so
advertising.
Here's a German trainer, and for all these hunter riders out there, you know, like if you're struggling with like proper riding, you come to us, and then we change your hunter to proper riding, and then we unshit your riding. So that was basically like how it initially just started a little bit, and then that accent was just
Everybody loved
like
it.
the accent,
it's just a little thicker on there.
the accent, like that over-the-top German accent, actually sells it more,
It's
because
like-
it wouldn't be as funny, especially when I have some of my rant videos when I'm like bitching about stuff.
Right.
If I do it this way, people would be like, yeah, okay, but I'm like. And then if I like fuck up words, that's even funnier.
Right.
Like
Well, you know
electricity is always electricity.
Right. We Americans have always really, really loved that, because over the top is Hogan's Heroes, and so that so the Gestapo and the Germans and they were I mean it was always like we
it's
loved
always
it.
like a little bit thicker,
a little bit
on
higher.
it. Yeah.
So that's great. But so let's back up a little. You talked about Chanel, and you talked about coming over.
Right.
So tell us about you. Do you ride like this, or what do you do?
Shit, man. Yeah, I used to.
All right.
Definitely. I mean, it was like the German school. It was like ingrained into us, like from the flat work. I mean, we like at home we do more flat work than we're actually jumping. Like if there's like one jumping session a week, and the rest is just drilling. And for me, it was very much. New, like the American style of riding, where everything is like a little bit like, not necessarily in a 2-point, but like that hovering half seat, little bit forward. And for me, walking lines in the jumper ring when we came over, I was like, shit, man, that's long. Like everything is just a little bit more open.
Right.
Yeah. Right? So if I walked the line in Germany like a 5-stride, it was 21.5 meters. That was 5. Here it was like 23. So it wasn't even just like a foot longer. It was like, I was like, shit, that's like almost half a stride more. Right. So the fun thing is like the way the horses are bred these days. They are not bred anymore like the old school German horses are, like these big clunkers that you had to like package up and throw over because they were just so heavy built. So the new breeding just makes the horses like more agile and more like finicky and lighter and more open canter. So then we started like adapting some sides of the American riding where it's just like a little bit lighter, a little bit more forward, but then still with like the German flat work and foundations in it, you know? And I think the mix is somewhere there, because if you look at top level, even the top German guys like Enning, Deuser, Kuckuck, Andre, you don't see them like this anymore.
Right.
You know?
That's what I was going to say, is in the event riders as well. They're
same
much
thing.
more forward.
Yeah. And then the horses that y'all developed, the German sport horses, like amazing. I mean, a lot of people come and seek that everywhere.
But there's not much of that old blood in the horses anymore. You know, when they started breeding like Lady Killer and all these other thoroughbreds from England into the German horses to make them lighter.
Yeah.
that really changed the whole, because then this
doesn't work
is
anymore.
not working anymore, you know. Now you're shortening up a short horse.
And it seems
good. I
like,
like that.
it seems like everybody's kind of met somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially all through Europe.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like at some point it was like the German horses.
right.
Then there were some French horses, depending on what kind of discipline you were looking for. Like the French horses were always like very thick and sturdy and very amateur friendly.
Right.
They have become lighter. Then with Zangersheide,
Right.
how do you guys call it?
You're speaking German.
Zangersheide.
Zangerscheid.
Zangersheide.
Yeah.
I can't say that word either, can I?
Zangersheide, Zangersheide.
Zangersheide.
So when they started, they really put the Belgian horses on the map. And then the Dutch started putting horses on the map. So now the whole European breeding is like a melting pot. Like now you can go anywhere and find good horses.
Because they use thoroughbreds.
They just made them lighter.
Yeah.
Right.
They just gotta be careful because like you start having like very fragile horses that
You gotta
are
be
now
careful. You gotta be careful.
too
Can't go-
flimsy,
Yes.
too small of a feet.
Yep.
Like
That's definitely true.
they're not as sturdy anymore. Like somewhere there in the middle was great, but now it's almost like dog breeding when they overdo it. Like when
Sure.
they did the German Shepherd that started dropping
And then
down
the hips
behind,
went.
and then the hips were like all fucked
Yeah.
up. Like they have
The
to
German
be,
Shepherds scare me.
but they have to be careful that it doesn't happen in the horse
I agree with
breeding
you.
now as well.
Right.
So what year did you and Chanel come over, or how did you get here together, and what year was that?
I think we both got here on a plane. Yeah.
Did it have wings?
Yeah.
I would have thought you'd take the boat. You seem old enough.
To take the boat. Shit, man. What do you mean? No,
So-
we came over in 2012 actually.
Gotcha. So you've been here
And
going
on
on
top
12
of
years.
that, it had nothing to do with horses.
Really?
That's amazing.
Why
Let's do
you-
this. This is perfect.
No, we got 25
No, this is
seconds. I'm not
perfect.
finished. I need to,
Everybody
like-
wants to know.
It's a teaser. Oh, what's it called?
A hook.
Oh, we're gonna see you after the commercial break.
You can see, he's a natural. I knew you would be. All right, let's do that. Let's take a break, and we're gonna be back with Ronnie and find out why did you come.
Why?
Was it horses?
No, it wasn't horses.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
Reset, reboot, rebuild, restore. Experience the transformative power of our formulas you can trust. Elevate your horse's well-being from the inside out with Parkmore supplements. European designed, American manufactured, and Kentucky Proud certified. Parkmore's Devil's Own Detox, Nature's Own Binding Agent, cleansing your horse's system, now available for your canine kids too. Say goodbye to unwanted elements and hello to vitality. Parkmore Special Vitamin Mineral Supplement, a micronutrient powerhouse, no fillers, just 4 ounces a day for a 5-star adventure to thrive, because excellence deserves exceptional nutrition. Parkmore GLF Immuno Booster, unleash the magic gold, the #1 building block for cell replication. Elevate wellness and recovery for your horses and dogs, whether after training, travel, competition, or during periods of injury, illness, or surgery. Parkmore HI Oil Infusion. Customize your blends of herbs and spices to naturally combat inflammation, bacteria, and restore gut flora. Elevate your horses and dogs' appetite naturally. Expert guidance awaits. For more information, schedule an online, telephone, or on-site consultation with Fleur or one of our dedicated team members. Visit parkmoresupplements.com or call, text at 502-265-8345 to elevate your companion's well-being today.
Welcome to The Hunt. The pursuit of greatness awaits, and we're on a mission to conquer our goals. Every step we take, every lift we make, we are driven by an insatiable hunger for excellence. There are no limits, no boundaries that can hold us back. We may have different objectives, but we share a common purpose: to push beyond our limits and achieve the extraordinary. Like a pack of fierce and unstoppable warriors, we stand united, a community of relentless individuals who refuse to settle for mediocrity. Obstacles. They're just stepping stones on our path to success. We welcome them, learn from them, and rise above them. We celebrate each other's victories and lift each other higher, inspiring greatness in one another. At CrossFit eFit, we don't just hunt for success, we embody it, breathe it, and conquer it. Prepare yourself because this isn't for the faint-hearted. This is for those who crave the thrill of pushing beyond the ordinary. CrossFit eFit, on the hunt.
Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We're in the great Jump for Joy studio, Ronnie. We're glad you stayed with us.
Where the fuck was I supposed to go?
You didn't have a choice.
You didn't have
locked
a choice.
the door.
Yeah, we locked it.
You locked the door.
But everybody out there, I mean, the phone's been buzzing, everything's going. Ronnie came over here not for horses. What the heck did you come over here for?
So I'm trying to get it like as short as possible.
Please.
There
Because
was.
he'll cut you off.
Yeah, he'll always cut me off.
Possibly.
So there was a lot of bitterness in the horse industry from my side. Like things didn't go the way I wanted it. Like coming out of the juniors and young riders, being on a very high level, making the transition into the seniors that then requires like more money, more horses, more this, more that. I started riding for a bunch of breeders. Most of them thought they have the next Olympic horse, but then realistically, like, they weren't, but then it was never the horse's fault. So there was like a little bit of bitterness and like, I like to do things my way. Little bit stubborn.
That's a German trait.
That's a German trait. And on top of that, I'm Cancer.
Oh, there you go. It's a double whammy.
It's a double whammy.
Right.
So then I kind of was like taking a step back. And now here's the funny part. I was always a wrestling fan. Professional wrestling, WWE.
Oh, awesome. Me too.
Best friends with him.
Me
now.
too. Yeah.
So I grew up, and then like I'm sitting at home on the couch, and like in the middle of the night, Monday Night Raw comes on, and I'm like, shit, man, I haven't watched that in years, and this and this and that, and I'm watching it, and I start like really getting into it again, right? And then like the storytelling and the athleticism about it, and like the whole entertainment part about it,
it's
right?
very good.
And then one evening on the couch, I'm like, fuck, I could do that. right. I was like, fuck.
I mean, you look like a WWE wrestler.
I was like, I could fucking do that. So then Chanel was like, well, then fucking do it. And I'm like, well, shit, now you're putting me on the spot here. I just had like a fat lip, right? But now she's like, well, then do it. I was like, okay. So I found a school in Germany, and I went there and I did like the introduction and this and that and that. And then there was a guy from the United States, Nigel McGuinness, who used to work for WCW.
Okay, yep.
So, and then he was a producer for WWE, like just in the background. So he gave a clinic there, and he said that WWE is starting to change from that Hulk Hogan area, like 6'5", 300 pounds, into a little bit more of a cruiserweight division. And he said,
you're perfect.
If you want to do something like that, you got to be good on the microphone, because like you need to sell yourself to the crowd. If they are behind you, the rest is just floating, right? And he's like, but if you want to do it, you got to go to the United States. He's like, there's no fucking market and no money here in the in Europe, right?
Right.
It's like a backyard kind of thing. So then I was like, okay, fuck, I'll look into it. And at that time, WWE had their development league, FCW, in Tampa, Florida, under Steve Kern, who used to be
that's funny.
The Skinner. Right?
Okay.
The alligator guy?
Yeah.
So Steve Kern and Norman Smiley were running FCW in Tampa. So, and you could sign up as a walk-in for a 3 months camp. I was like, shit, I'll do that. But because, like with any other sport, any other business, like you're not making money, like you're paying your dues, and you go from league to league to league, you go up, until you get to the league that pays for it. So I was prepared to like do that.
Right, pay your dues.
Pay my dues. And then I was like, well, shit, in the meantime, I need to
make money.
And then Ocala was like close enough to Tampa, and a friend of mine was here working for Hugh Graham at that time. So he made a connection, then I did that and did the training, and then I was like, fuck, I love it. It was great. So then we worked on the visa, because I just did it on a 3-month tourist visa where I did the FCW, just a training camp. And then when I liked it, I was like, oh shit, now I'm gonna work on my visa. So we got the visa done, we came over, and then with the visa, I then worked as a greenkeeper for a lady that had a farm in Dunellen, just down the road here.
Just like looking after, it's right down the road.
Right down the road. So greenkeeper, working there, that kind of stuff, and did the wrestling basically continuously.
Right.
And I did that for a long time.
So were you good?
I was fucking phenomenal.
What was your persona? Who were you?
Hans Schulz.
Hans Schulz, of course you were.
Hans
Please
Schulz.
tell me that this is on YouTube somewhere.
Oh, not a lot of them. I started filtering some of them out, but I can send you guys.
Send it to me.
I can send you guys some videos.
We got to
That'd
see
be
them.
awesome.
We got to see it.
And then when I was done with that FCW one, there was a training school here in Ocala from Dory Funk Jr.
Okay.
So Dory Funk Jr. had a school here in Ocala. So then I transitioned, once I was home based in Ocala, transitioned to him. And then from him, I actually went to a promotion in Mineola from Affa the Wild Samoan.
Oh yeah? No? Okay.
So Affa is the uncle from Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Oh, no kidding.
There we
All right.
No shit. So Affa's sister is Dwayne's mom. So, and Affa was actually the guy that kind of like kept me in the United States, because I was at a point where I was in the school here where there was like a little bit of like bad locker room like vibes and that kind of stuff, where I was like, boy, it's not as fun as I thought it would be, right? But then a friend of mine who was at FCW as well, I saw him at a wrestling show in Tampa, and he's like, dude, you have to come to WXW, to Affa. Like, I'll introduce you and that kind of stuff. And then I had a tryout match there, and then like from the tryout match, like the night before the show, he's like, okay, I'll put you on the card, you're gonna be match number 4. And I was like, oh shit, okay. Awesome. And then I got into the locker room there, and it was almost like family away from family. Oh. It was so amazing, and like Affa, everybody calls him Pops, his wife is Mom. Everybody that worked in his promotion are his kids. It was such a Samoan experience, heartwarming like family thing, right? Where I was like, oh shit, that's awesome. That made me stay, because I was like about to say like, you know what, maybe the wrestling wasn't for me, because like it was too bitchy and too this and too that and too cutthroat. But it had to do with the promotion, with the groups, because that group was for then 5 years was amazing. I'm still friends with like so many of those guys, and I was there last year when they had the last show, because Affa retired now. They had their last show, and he called me up and he's like, "You want to be part of this?" And I was like, "Yeah, I have my gear in the trunk."
No kidding.
The gear still fit. Was a little bit loose because I lost a lot of weight.
Sure. So what I want to know is, we're not getting near the end, but we will eventually want to have you back on again.
Yeah, because that's.
But I want you in full
Hans Schulz gear.
Yes.
So, but let's do this real quick before we want. I think that's nobody even.
We're not winding down. Why are you rushing things?
Because you always rush things. I want to know. Look, we come to your local of champions. Mm-hmm. Is it called
local champions tour?
Yeah. Love it, right?
Yeah.
Just absolutely love it. We haven't been coming enough, but I'm going to start coming a lot more.
Right.
Because I love the way y'all run it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Your whole team, Chanel, everybody is super.
So it started almost out of, I wouldn't say frustration, but a little bit of a necessity. Like Mark and Michelle from South Africa, they know how shows are run European style, right? Chanel and me Chanel spent a lot of time in England and then in Germany. That's where we met. Like, we know how fun these shows are there, and we were like, shit, there's either like backyard grass field, or A-rated. Like there was hardly anything in between, right? You had horse shows in the park, but they were like closer to A-rated than to like low-key grassroots.
I don't know. They're pops and
No.
horse shows,
Horse
in,
shows
the
in the park. Different,
I got you.
different deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then Mark, Michelle, Chanel, and we were like, why don't we do like a schooling thing? Yeah. And out of the schooling, it developed into like, why don't we try a weekend horse show? And that's how the ball actually kept rolling. And then,
well, it's just so good, especially for us coming from the event horse world, because honestly, it is not difficult, but it is a lot to go to WEC or to go to HITS and get everything entered and do it all the right way. And then you're there for the day pretty much, and we're not set up that we're making money when we're there. So it's like, oh, we're here for the whole
especially
day.
you guys are coming from the environment where you guys have like
and we're like,
times.
And I'm
You're
stressed
like, hey,
out. I'm starting to get better at it, but your shows are great because you just show up, you know when you're going to go. It's pretty
well, the
straightforward.
luxury with us, the way we can run it is it's a one-ring show.
Right.
You don't have these bullshit excuses where they're like, oh, I got held up at the other ring, right? It's just like it's one ring. That's all. That's all your responsibilities. You just have to be here, and it's nice to run it that way. I love it because as the online time schedules,
it's awesome.
They're always on point.
They're pretty close.
So what I want to know, Ronnie, is so you grew up hotshot, young rider, jumping around big courses, got annoyed, come to America, you become
Professional wrestling.
What's the character?
Hans Schultz.
Hans Schultz, the wrestler.
And
then
Schultz actually came from Hogan's Heroes.
There you go. And then you come back to the horses. So what are you doing now? What brought you back, and what are you doing now? Like, what's the business?
Well, obviously you're at where you have people in training, and you still do sell horses. And
so there was kind of like a little bit of a transition.
Okay.
Do you guys want me to tell you later?
Yeah. No, tell us now.
Tell us now.
Tell us now?
Yeah, it says we can be on as long as we want. It's good.
Okay.
Go.
So then while I was doing the wrestling and I was working as a greenkeeper, the rider there injured herself. Not like, knew I rode a little bit, that kind of stuff. And then she was like, well, we have to show a horse to Don Stewart. Mm-hmm. It's a sales horse. Is there a chance that you could jump in? I was like, not really. I didn't have boots. I didn't have breeches.
Been riding.
I had nothing.
Right.
Like in Germany, I sold everything.
Wrestling boots, but that was it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And I don't think that outfit would have come over really well.
Well, Don might have liked it.
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, Don, yeah. True. Don probably would have got a fucking kick out of it. He's like, I hate the fucking horse, I like the guy, sold. So then we did that at Don's place, and then the contact between Don and me kind of stayed alive, and then Megan, what was her name before? But now it's Megan Wexler. When she got pregnant, Dawn called me. It's like, hey, Megan will be out for a couple of weeks or months. Can you fill in? That's how I was like, I don't know. I really don't want to. But then the weekly paycheck was mentioned, and I was like,
seems better.
I'll be there Tuesday. You know, that's how I got back in there. And then Dawn was like, hey, a friend of mine needs somebody to ride a 3-year-old. Which then was Emil Spadone.
Right.
So then I went from Dawn to Emil, rode a horse for Emil. That's how that contact came about. And then kind of like
just transition.
a little bit more riding, little bit more riding, little bit more riding. Then when Megan came back, I stopped at Dawn's. And then, but because I already made that transition from the lady where I was a greenkeeper, so now I needed a new job.
Right.
So that's when I started working as a groom for Dennis Mitchell and Anne Madej.
Right.
There you go.
So then I was a groom for them.
You hit all the good people. I mean, you were right in line with all the good people.
So then Dennis Mitchell was then the one that introduced me to Chucky Waters.
Right.
So
got them all.
So the thing
is,
like,
everything
one. Just kind of fell into place where it's just like I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do, but I met
the right people.
All the right people that could help you in this industry.
Every single one you mentioned is exactly the right people.
You know what I mean? So Chucky and Dana have been as supportive as it can be when it comes to selling horses, buying horses, trading horses, helping, training, this and that. Like, I don't know how many times I loaded up horses, went to Chucky, and he helped me with lessons and that kind of stuff. Don Stewart, always on the phone when I need something. Emil, if I have something that is a hunter or equitation that is totally out of my wazoos, I call Emil and I'm like, Emil, can I drop that one off? Can you help me?
Right.
Like, so, like, it was like, I think Chanel kind of put it in the universe because like she is in love with the horse industry. Right. That's why she traveled around the world. That's why she went to an equestrian boarding school in England, where she then met her best friend, Annemieke, who is Franke Slezak's daughter. And then Annemieke was like, if you really want to learn how to ride, you need to come to Franke. And Franke was the guy where I used to train. So that's where that connection comes from.
You just all meshed all together.
And so what's the business here now?
So here now it's training board.
Yeah.
So we take in sales horses or training horses.
Yeah.
We have amateur students and junior students, and then we have owners that
So you can go jump big classes.
just like to watch their horses go.
Right, perfect.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
So what I want to say is that it's good to get to know you better, because we've kind of known each other throughout the years, but never kind of hung out.
Nobody, like hardly anyone knows the wrestling story.
No, I think
And
Now
why?
everybody knows.
Why? Why would
but I
they?
love it.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you being on the show and coming here and talking to us. And everybody out there, the local
Champions Tour.
tour is amazing. And obviously, you probably need to go onto YouTube and start searching for Schultz.
Hans Schultz?
Hans Schultz.
Hans Schultz.
I'll send you guys some of the
YouTube videos?
Yeah,
better.
you need to do
send you guys some
I
of
want
the
to see it.
better
And
ones.
then the German riding
And
instructor
then
on
the Instagram. And if you haven't seen his Instagram, I had to watch that like
the
3 times.
German riding instructor.
Yeah.
funniest fucking comment like from the beginning that I got was like, there was like one of the rants where I put on that thick accent, right? And people are commenting, and there was one comment where I was like, that guy is not even German.
Well, okay. To that point, and then we got
where's that coming? Like, why? Like, where's that coming from?
well-
And like with the conviction,
Yes.
right? Just like, I know he's not German.
to that point, and then we got to wrap it. That's 100% accurate because I watched it not knowing it was you and thought, this guy looks a lot like Ronnie.
Right.
And then I went and I'm like, oh,
It is right.
it is right.
The thing is like once that thick accent is
Comes in.
on, and I'm at the show and I just talk normally,
Right.
people are like, he looks a little bit like him, but he doesn't sound like him.
Right, exactly.
So it's almost like my
It's two persona.
incognito persona.
It's almost like
It's
a
your alter
persona
ego.
from like a wrestling
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Who would have
wrestler.
thought?
Shit, now I have 3.
Yeah.
You got 3.
Oh no. What is it called? Split personality?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's a crowded room up here.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, listen.
Oh, and then we have Sandy Bottoms.
right.
That's number
Sandy,
4.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, now we're racking them up.
We're gonna go
This
on
is
with
great.
it.
We're definitely going to have
Please
you
send us your stuff. Joel can pop it up on the show.
Yeah,
And
some wrestling
Yeah, that'd be
snippet.
great.
Thanks
I'd
for
love
being
it.
I have a really good one where I give somebody a nut shot.
Oh,
I got disqualified for it, but it's still a good thing.
Yeah, good
We
job.
want that one.
Good job. Well, listen, thank you for coming on. Thank you to Horse Trailer Pros for being the title sponsor of the show, or what would they actually be? What is
They're
Horse Trailer?
the title sponsor. You
Title
got it.
sponsor. All right, got it right. And
Jump for Joy for the
thank you
studio.
to Jump for Joy for being the studio sponsor. Make sure you guys, if you have any issues with any of your horse trailers, you need anything maintained, looked at. Horse Trailer Pros is the place to go.
And remember Equibrew.
Equibrew is there too, for sure. Good stuff. We got them all. We got it all.
Got it.
So thank you to everybody, and we will be back in 2 weeks, right around Olympic time.
All right.
Ooh.
We have an awesome show for you guys today.
The greatest eventer of all time.
Good news for the sport.